The folks at Tree Green, servicing the western suburbs of Chicago, have a question for you. Have you ever looked at the valuable trees on your property and just had that sinking feeling that something was just not quite right with one of them? You know, that big, beautiful tree, the one that used to display those thick, rich green leaves, are no longer as green as they once were. Well, today we'll break down exactly what it means, and even more importantly, what you can do about it. So let's zoom in a little closer here. You see that the veins of the leaves are still pretty green, but the leaf tissue in between the veins is noticeably lime green to yellow. If you've noticed this on your oak, maple, or river birch trees, well, it's definitely a distress signal. It's your tree's way of crying for help. This condition has a name known as iron and/or manganese chlorosis, and it's a major red flag for a tree's health. Basically, it's telling us that your tree is struggling to make enough chlorophyll. You probably remember from science class that chlorophyll is that magic green component within leaves that lets trees gain sun energy through the process of photosynthesis, and as a result, energy for a long, happy life. If trees fail to make enough chlorophyll, they literally can't feed themselves, causing loss of required energy. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You notice these lime green or yellow leaves, and you're thinking they look kind of pretty color-wise. But deep down, you're wondering if this is normal. Well, it really isn't. Trees displaying lime green or yellow leaves are telling us they are not absorbing enough iron or manganese from the soil due to high soil pH. When pH is too high, oak, river birch, and maple trees start to decline, sometimes within a few years, but sometimes there's a delay of 10, 20, even 30 years. What usually happens is this. To build on firm clay, builders tend to strip several feet of healthy black soil off the land before construction begins and sell off much of it. Once construction is complete, quite often only 3 to 4 inches of healthy, rich topsoil is returned to the land. 3 to 4 inches might be enough to grow grass, but it definitely is not enough for long-term, healthy tree growth. So we'd really like to drive this point home. This is not just a cosmetic issue. It's a warning sign on a chemical level that your tree is literally starving. It's like being in a room full of food that's locked in a pantry and we can't get at it. Well, the story and its ending are pretty predictable. Additionally, it's a well-known fact that weak trees have trouble fighting off pests or other diseases. Often, these secondary issues hasten the tree's decline, sadly causing trees to be lost decades before their time. But it absolutely does not have to end that way. The great news is this is a treatable condition as long as you use the right scientific approach, and since 1970, the certified arborists at Tree Green have been perfecting their methods to tackle this exact problem and bringing trees back to full health and vibrant color. Treatment isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, as different varieties of trees have different internal plumbing, so as far as oaks and river birches, a basal root drenching coupled with an iron trunk injection once every 3 years is the recommended treatment program. Treating maples is different. Maples require manganese more than iron, and due to their thinner bark structure, we do not perform trunk injections on them. High-pressure basal root drenching with a rich suspension of minerals, nutrients, and amino acids is the course of treatment for maple trees. Let's dig into those trunk injections on oaks and river birch a bit. The best way to think of this is like giving your tree an IV drip. It's a special kind of iron that's easy for the tree to absorb and gets injected right into the tree's vascular system, so it completely bypasses those soil conditions we talked about. These injections are effective for 3 full years, allowing trees' leaves to green up before our very eyes, within weeks of the injection, allowing them to start regaining energy almost immediately. The basal root drenching process takes a totally different approach by pressure injecting a rich suspension of minerals, nutrients, and soil amendments at the base of chlorotic trees. This process actually improves soil structure, allowing tree roots the ability to absorb the minerals and nutrients we are including. So one might ask, does all this science actually work? Well, as we've all heard, that pictures speak 1,000 words. Here's your classic before and after shot on a 200-year-old oak tree. This tree was clearly struggling. Its canopy was thinning, extremely yellow, and losing the fight. Now, look at the tree today after a few years of treatment with Tree Green, your Tree MD. This is the exact same tree, and now it's thriving. The canopy is full, and the leaves are a beautiful, deep, healthy green. Consider, if we can fix a tree this age, we can fix most any tree if treatment begins before it's too late. The main takeaway from all this is that trees are so much more than just trees to those of us who love them. Trees are a serious investment in our property's beauty and value. Realtors will tell you that vibrant, healthy trees add up to 15% to our home value. So doesn't it make sense to care for and protect them? If you are seeing those lime green or yellow leaves, the most valuable thing you can do to save a tree suffering from iron or manganese chlorosis is to call the ASA certified arborists at Tree Green for a free evaluation before it's too late. If you live in the western suburbs of Chicago, don't hesitate. Call Tree Green. Your trees will thank you for it.